Hello and welcome to Some of My Friends Read Comics. We've got Vince.
I'm always up for trashing old Robotnik.
We got Chris.
Second down chili dogs behind the Tasty Freeze.
Whoa, I'm Kia. Hi, welcome to the show. Today we're reading Sonic the Hedgehog. Why are we reading Sonic the Hedgehog? Where did this come from?
I don't know. Sonic movie coming out in like a couple weeks. Sonic the Hedgehog.
A new one?
Yeah.
Sonic 2V, I think it is.
They're making a second Sonic movie?
It actually looks like I enjoyed the first Sonic movie, but I will also feel like the two stinger scenes were better than anything in the rest of the movie. Jim Carrey ended up like as Dr. Robotnik ended up exiled on like a mushroom planet, and then Tails showed up, and I'm like, hell yeah, this is gonna be awesome. And then this new movie looks stupidly ridiculous. It looks fun. Knuckles works for Robotnik. Jim Carrey's hamming it up since he hasn't been in the 90s. It's gonna be fun.
And then Princess Daisy is like, Mario, you got to get ready for this, and she shows up with a gun, and it ties into the Mario Brothers movie.
All right, okay. You said there were two reasons we're reading Sonic. What's the other reason?
I've always wanted to get to the Sonic comics because, legitimately, like Sonic is the longest running licensed comic of all time, and this comic. It had a mild reboot in like issue 217 or something, but Sonic the Hedgehog ran from 1993 to like 2016 or 17, like 24 years at Archie Comics, like almost 300 issues.
The Sonic lore is beloved by many. I don't think that's wrong to say. Right?
I think I said last episode, like one of my friends when I worked at a comic book company was working. He wrote the Sonic or drew the Sonic comic. I'm actually wrong. He drew Sonic X, which my understanding is bad. Oh. He drew several issues, including the final issue. So that one's the bad Sonic comic.
We're not going to read that one. Yeah. So this is the Archie Comics Sonic the Hedgehog. I guess it's with IDW now. They've got the license, but the big run was under Archie Comics, started in the early 90s, and we are reading 47 through 50, which is a pretty big arc for this comic called EndGame.
Oh, that's the third reason. I will read any comic that has EndGame in the subtitle. Avengers EndGame, Batman EndGame, Sonic EndGame. We'll
it's strange that they call it EndGame because this is the beginning of what really feels like it's kicking off the Sonic universe.
They missed the trick by having Robotnik not say this is just the beginning.
Yeah. But I guess I think y'all read like 45 or 46 leading up to these. It feels like before this event, this was like an 80s cartoon in comic form of just a random adventure, meet a character who's a different kind of animal. That's it. That's the impression that I got. What do y'all?
Yeah, I mean,
I did not touch 45 and 46, but y'all were like looking into them as a little preview. What do y'all have to say about those two?
I'll let Chris go.
45, but like I said, it was interesting because it does give you a sense of like what this book is. Sonic is captured by some gorillas and then befriends the gorillas because they don't believe him that he's trying to save them from a like de-jungle fire type device that Snively, or however you say his name, has created.
I was saying Snively.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I was thinking Snively Whiplash.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. That's where I was going to.
Yeah, it could be Snively. Yeah, so it's a one-off that is just like, hey, here's these characters, and then there's like a caveman character that helps him out. That is like, see, like previous Sonic issue, like 28 or whatever it is. So it's very much just like, we're exploring the world. We're doing like a done-in-one type thing. It's very much, like you said, a licensed comic where they're exploring like the fringes of a video game world where you've got your character pack and then the other characters that I think they've just made up.
Some of them are for the cartoon. Some of them are from the cartoon.
So many. There's so many characters in this book.
But they're not the characters like, because Sonic, the video games like fucking went crazy with their animals and stuff. Like there was like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. And then, like, I knew them from the games, but then there was, like, Amy Rose and Rouge the Bat and like
yeah,
Bix the cat.
Okay, I'm confused because I've heard of Amy and I've heard of Bix, and they're not in this. But there's a million other damn animals that I'm like, why is there no synergy between the universes here? But
Sally, I remember because she transport you back, Kia, to 1993. There were two Sonic cartoons out at the same time.
I remember that.
But was Urkel voicing both of them? Urkel was voicing both of them, I think, right?
Urkel was Sonic in both of them. I'm going to do an impression later. Y'all are going to love it. It's going to be perfect.
I can't wait.
But yeah, so the serious one was on ABC, and that had Sally Acorn, and it was basically like a resistance against the robots of Robotnik, and it was a like Transformers-y like drama series. And then there was a syndicated one that was just a comedy series that Deke.
Yeah, I definitely watched that.
Oh,
that was more silly.
Deke, I think Deke, I learned, actually was a porn company that then got into the business of making kids movies.
Wow.
They made porn, but then they sold it to like video stores, but people were like, people aren't going to video stores, they're not going to rent porn. So then they started making cartoons as a smokescreen for parents to say, hey, I went to the video store and I rented you this Deke cartoon. And I also rented some porn, but they didn't tell their kids.
And I also rented this Deke porno.
What does Inspector Gadget have underneath that trench coat? That's the mystery that we needed. That's the Deke that and Carmen Sandiego are the two Deke cartoons I immediately think of.
Yeah, but I definitely watched the comedy one. I didn't watch this Resistance one, but that seems to be pretty much in line with what is going on. Because like issue 46, the one you didn't read, is like them like. It's like an underground resistance, like Robotnik, who's got this name Julian, took over their city, and they're now there's like a king in exile. That's a squirrel.
There's so much.
Yeah, there's Sally Acorn's father, of course.
Yeah. So. Can I go ahead? And we should say before we get too deep into this, before I forget, because Sonic is just there's so much to talk about. We're also, of course, continuing the Korvac Saga with Avengers. We're reading Avengers number 170. Is that where we're at after this? Yeah, Avengers 170. So look out for that at the end of the show. But okay, yeah, back to Sonic. Can I read the prologue for 47? Like there's big like text recap stuff at the beginning of all of them, but this was my introduction to anything Sonic related at all. And it's not what I expected, but I feel like it needs to be heard to just understand what world we are living in. Because this is not, I just didn't expect any of this. It is the year 3235 on the planet Mobius.
One doesn't matter. We're on a different planet.
None of that matters.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
how long after Jesus' return was this?
And the war being fought upon its surface lands has entered its 11th year. A war that began as another had just concluded. So they've just like been in war forever. All right. A war that had its origins from the seeds of betrayal within. Warlord Julian, no idea who this guy is. Warlord Julian has seized the power and authority of the House of Acorn. We're gonna spoilers, and exiled the Ring forevermore to the Zone of Silence. This might be Elden Ring. Upon which Julian became Robotnik and began a systematic conquest of the now renamed Robotropolis and all its inhabitants. It is now the eve of what may prove to be the final battle between the successors to the House of Acorn and its usurper. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, this is Elden Ring with robots. I did not expect any of that. Should we just jump into the story? Is there anything else we need to say about it?
Who's the artist? Also,
who all is it? It's written by Kent Taylor and Ken Penders, with art by Manny Galen. Nobody I've ever really heard of before.
Yeah. So just quick character profile. We know Sonic, we know Tails, we know Robotnik, but the rest of them we probably don't know. So let's just very quickly go through. We have
go ahead.
Princess Sally. She's the co-leader of the Freedom Fighters. I'm just reading this from the Wikipedia on the Archie Comics Sonic page. She's the co-leader of the Freedom Fighters and Sonic's main love interest. Okay.
She's a sexy squirrel.
A 16-year-old chipmunk. Okay.
What?
I don't know if I like that.
Okay.
Let's age her up a little bit. Then we have Bunny Rabbit, an 18-year-old cyborg rabbit who talks like Rogue. That's going to be important.
It took me a while to catch on to that because I was like, I couldn't make out the words that they were like spelling out in her accent.
Yeah, it's an outrageous rogue accent. Then we have Antoine de Coulet, a 19-year-old coyote who has a French accent.
Yes.
So he's basically the if this was whatchamacallit, Casablanca, he would be the French character, Frenchie.
It took them a long time for them to identify him. They kept calling him Twan, short for Antoine, and I was like, what is Twan? What does this mean?
Yep. Okay. Rotor the walrus, a large purple-colored walrus. Rotor serves as the mechanic and inventor.
They never said. God, this is so informative. They never said his name once in these comics. Never said his name once.
All right. Amy has not debuted yet. Let's see. Who else? Dulcie the Dragon. Dulcie the Dragon was one of the last Mobian dragons left unroboticized at the start of the story. She's ditzy, emotional, and clumsy, but loyal to her friends. All right, there you go.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like her. Yeah.
Lupe the Wolf.
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of wolves
Uncle Chuck. Uncle Chuck is basically Sonic with a mustache, and he's part roboticized. That's how you know it's him.
He looks like Metal Sonic with a white mustache.
Okay. It looks exactly what. And this was not important to the story. This was like, I don't know. Okay, I'm sure there's even more. I think we should just jump into it. And
there's even more, but
we're gonna meet more.
There's Hershey the cat.
She's important. More. She's pretty important to the story.
You know who should be important? Sonic and Tails. That's it.
Tails is not important to the story at all. Tails is barely in this.
Tails is equally important as the walrus.
Yeah, he does nothing.
Maybe a little less important than the walrus, because the walrus at least shoots a gun at someone.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. All right. Yeah, let's jump into this. So we have Sonic and Sally. They're like teamed up, and they're traveling around using Sonic's famous grappling hook to get to where they need to get to. And they're being watched by some wolf people who I thought were bad guys. No, but they're also on the team. They're the freedom fighters.
They're part of the wolf pack.
There's like a main wolf dude named Drago, and there's a wolf lady. It was Lupe. Is that the wolf lady?
Yes, I believe that's the non-bad wolf.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, hey, Sonic and Sally are in position or whatever. And they're also communicating with another team from the Resistance who's elsewhere on another building. There's a duck doctor, Dr. Quentin Quack, I think was his name. Right?
Didn't even get to him yet.
He looks like he belongs in a Scrooge McDuck comic.
He does. He looks so much like a Disney duck that it's like, whoa, this is a little bit.
This podcast is a fan of ducks, though, so he's welcome. We have
Howard the Duck famously had to look less like a Disney duck, so I feel like he's right in the trouble spot.
Who that French raccoon, Antoine? Was he a raccoon? What was he?
Coyote.
Coyote.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, not at all. The walrus guy. They're all there on the rooftop, and then so back with Sonic and Sally. Sally's feeling kind of woozy, and we get a little bit of a recap where. So her dad, King Acorn, is afflicted with like the stone disease where his body's turning into stone, or at least it was. He had a miraculous recovery, and all of a sudden he's alive. And he's telling her that Sonic the Hedgehog is a traitor. Oh my God, no. So she kind of doesn't believe it. She's like, oh my God, what do I don't know what to think. And then, but guess who's watching all this? Robotnik and Snively. Maybe it is Snively. But they're watching all this on monitors and they activate some guns. Yeah.
As Sonic points out repeatedly. Kind of anti-Semitic of Sonic, honestly.
Not nice of him. They activate some guns to like knock Sally and Sonic off the thing. And so the walrus pulls out a big gun, blows up the other guns. And they're like looking on with binoculars, and they see Sonic grab the rope to save Sally from falling off. And then they see Sonic pull out a knife and cut the rope. Oh my God! What? Sonic is a dang traitor.
And they're watching this through goggles, by the way. That'll come.
Yes. And
what is Sonic he's doing?
Yeah. What does he do?
Falls to her death.
There's a little bit of a question at first because her fall gets broken by like this cloth roof on a stall, and the bunny girl with the long Inspector Gadget legs, she goes to get her.
Bunny Rabbit.
But Bunny Rabbit. I'm just gonna call her Rogue because she's basically Rogue.
She is rogue.
And then they go to get her. I'm like, oh my god, well, is she dead? Sonic goes to confront Robotnik, and there's like a big old rigmarole there, and Robotnik escapes, and Sonic's like, dang, he got away. Hey, wait a minute, where's Sally? Wasn't she just behind me? Which is a very strange time to bring that up after you've had a big adventure against Robotnik here.
Yeah.
And then they've just seen Sonic do this, so everybody is like, we got to get Sally back to the hospital. Let's leave without Sonic. And Sonic's like, yeah, dang, that sucks. Where'd everybody go? He doesn't know what's going on. Back at the base, the doctor couldn't save Sally, and everyone cries. And Sonic bursts in like, hey, what the fuck, everybody? But guess who's behind him? Clyde the skunk. He's there to put him under arrest for treason and for murder of the princess. How did he know?
High
Wait,
crimes of murder and treason, Sonic. Are you out of your gourd?
How did Clyde know that she was dead? He just got there after Sonic.
Jeffrey St. John is what it says is the name of the skunk.
Oh, I thought there were multiple skunks. Yeah, I think this skunk was Clyde, who was just like a member of the skunk crew, and later we meet the main skunk.
Yeah, that seems to be the one that loves Sally. Is Jeffrey?
Yeah. There's a lot of people love Sally. I mean, she is a princess, so that makes sense. But Knuckles, Jeff,
it's definitely like a love pentagon.
Of all the names in this book, by the way, Jeff St. John.
Yeah, he's French.
What? Okay, fine. It's just such a
like Pepe Le Pew,
human name.
Also French.
Yeah, it's a very human name.
So then
they have saints on the planet Mobius in the year 3000.
Yeah. They still believe in Catholic saints. That's why.
Yeah. So Drago, who was the wolf guy, not a dragon, he gets home to his cat girlfriend Hershey, or is she also a skunk?
She's a cat.
She's a cat that looks like the girl in the Pepe Le Pew cartoons.
Which is weird too, because he's like a wolf, and it's like I don't know. I don't like this.
Very weird. There's a lot of stuff that's wrong with Drago and Hershey and what's going on here.
Yeah.
But Drago is clearly a bad guy. He's like, the other freedom fighters don't have a clue what's in store. And then Sonic gets taken straight to a trial where King Acorn sentences him to life imprisonment on the Devil's Gulag.
Well, he's one of my favorite quotes. He 100%. He says, "In recognition of your services to the realm, I will forego the death penalty."
Oh, yeah.
Very nice of him. Thanks, King Acorn.
You made me a traitor.
It's literally one page, too. No trial, no witnesses.
It's so fast. Oh my God! They've decided the trial starts with him saying, "Even though it's my daughter who was murdered, I'm gonna be super fair about all this, and I'm not gonna be swayed in any direction. I'm gonna be a super impartial judge." And the last seconds, and it's done.
Yeah, he doesn't give Sonic the death penalty, which good, I guess. That it's a little odd that in 35-25 or whatever they still the death penalty, but
it's very much like Star Wars, long time ago. But why do they have all this technology? This is like way in the future, but totally different civilization. Clearly, anthropomorphic animals have risen up and changed everything. Jumping right into issue 48, we now have Sonic. He's going to prison, still doesn't really know what's going on. Everybody's crying about Sally. That dragon, what was her name? Dulcie. She bashes her head in through a window and starts crying.
She's very upset. Yeah, she hates to hear this about Sonic. I do like McGruff the crime dog is also on the
No. Well, it's a combination of McGruff the crime dog and Snoop Dogg, because this is Sleuth Doggy Dog.
Yes.
And then, although later on in this issue they do call him Snoop, which seems like it had to have been a mistake.
He says, "How did Robotnik turn you traitor? Did he offer you a chili dog?"
That's a pretty good.
That's my McGruff the crime dog as a traitor.
And then a bunch of robots attack this ship, and Sonic goes into this murderous rage. What did you compare this to, Vince? It was like a JM.
This is like a JM Mateus thing. He's like, "I don't even feel anymore. I just work on instinct. I don't even give a thought about my feelings. For the first time in his life, Sonic truly understands the meaning of war." It's I've been
Peter
reading the
Parker
Clone
is dead. There is only the spider.
There's only the hedgehog. Sonic is dead. Like if he had said that, I would have been all over it. It's fucking ridiculous.
So then
I love it.
It's pretty crazy. So then Drago, the wolf, reports to the king, who I think I wrote down here. I still didn't know his name at this point. I don't think they'd actually. This book is sometimes overly specific about naming every character, except I guess some of the regulars who it forgot to tell me what their names are. King Acorn, the Drago's telling him what's going on. Sonic's plane crashed. He's escaped. The king says, all right, let's get Jeff St. John the skunk in here to hunt him down. And so, and then Sonic is like escaping through the forest and it's raining and it's all muddy. And he's pretty smart. He's got like these leaves attached to him to cover up his tracks behind him. I think this is a pretty neat Sonic. Good for him. Although I feel like that might just create like a very straight line that leads to you rather than footsteps. I don't know.
Just a swept up line. Like, somebody swept up the jungle.
I would also maybe not walk in the mud, maybe walk in the grass like a foot to the other side.
Sure. It's right there. Yeah. Or whatever. He is still wearing like shackles from whatever prison he was on. Although they're just like not connected to anything. They're just like metal.
He broke them. They were
chained okay, that makes
on
sense.
the plane. But he couldn't get the cuffs off, basically.
Yeah.
Which is convenient because they have a tracker in them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at the village, we have Antoine and Rogue. They are sneaking up on Drago. Antoine's got some suspicions about him, and they learn that Drago like totally sucks. His girlfriend doesn't want to be part of this anymore. He's got like aspirations of being a duke, and she wants out.
Yeah, he like physically threatens and like grabs Hershey the cat, and she does not like it. It's bad.
She's like, "Ow, my arm, it hurts." It's very clear, like this is a bad guy. They also learn that Sonic is being hunted down, and Drago's like, I hope that Sonic and Jeff St. John the skunk kill each other. So they keep on sneaking around, like following Drago to where he's going next, and they get caught by him and some robots. Oh no. Meanwhile, they've got this bug in Sonic's shackles, so they're able to like catch up to him pretty quickly, and they've got a very silent fight scene between Jeff St. John and Sonic for a bit until Sonic, manages to run away a little bit. Then the king holds court.
Well, I was gonna say they had the I guess that's the end of the issue, the fugitive moment that Sonic has.
Where he like jumps down a waterfall to escape.
Yeah. Where Jeff St. John has like a crossbow pointed at him and is like, "I didn't kill the princess," and he's like, "I don't care."
Yeah. And but Jeff loved Sally as well. Part of this whole love story. But the king is now holding court back at the village. He's like, "Hey, everybody, thanks for taking care of things while I was in exile," he says. I thought it was while he was like afflicted with the stone thing. I guess maybe that's why he was in exile, so nobody else catches it. Who knows? But then he's like, "But y'all all did a bad job while I was gone, because now there's just like a ton of war and nobody's happy. So I'm bringing in a new warlord. Everybody meet Robotnik." Oh shit, this is not good.
I love the dialogue that King Acorn has here. He says, "There has been too much fighting and too little progress, which I attribute to your general lack of ability." Like, Jesus, okay.
Yeah, bad king.
But that's a pretty not constructive feedback to be like, "Look, I just don't think you guys are good. That's the problem."
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, he is like, we'll learn like next issue that he's been brainwashed or he's another dude.
We
learn
way too fast that this was a robot dude. I mean, it was a little bit obvious, but for the reader, it was obvious. But these idiot villagers were just like, what did they know? Yeah. And Robotnik instantly throws it all away and says, "I got you all. This was a fake king. I'm here now, and I'm gonna fuck everything up."
Well, I mean, he thinks Sonic is on his way to the devil's whatever, so he's like, "This is over." Like if Sonic's gone, this war's over.
But then why did the robot fake King Acorn just not kill Sonic? And why did he forego the death penalty? This doesn't make sense.
He should have. But I'm sure the peasants would have risen up. They would have been like, "No, not Sonic."
Yeah,
they would have overthrown the monarchy.
You got to convince everyone that Sonic is bad and they don't want Sonic. But this just like undid whatever.
But I will say, like, constructive wise, like this, it has like a fight with Jeffrey St. John, and then it cuts to this scene where Robotnik then shows up and takes over the city, and then it cuts back to Sonic and Jeffrey St. John, and the cliffhanger is him jumping off the waterfall. Honestly, like I think that they should have ended the issue with Robotnik taking over the city. I feel like that's a better cliffhanger.
That's a way bigger cliffhanger.
Yeah, the first page of the next issue should have been Sonic jumping off the cliff, because that's easily resolved at the beginning of the next issue.
Yeah, nobody is reading this going, oh, geez. There's no way Sonic lands this. He's done for, and this is how he dies. You know?
R.I.P. Sonic. Look, I played that water level in Sonic too. I know he's dead.
Oh, dang. You got to find a bubble so you can breathe. But he does. Okay, so beginning of 49, we see Sonic. He calls this move the figure 8, where he like glides himself down.
It's in the game.
That's a video game thing. Yeah.
And he throws dirt out from his shoes. Where did he get that dirt?
Okay. He says, I'm going to try something here. And whatever he tried, I cannot tell what he did. But he took off his shoes and made some sort of a land bridge or something out of the dirt in his shoes. I looked at this so hard. I have no idea. Vince, do you know?
I don't honestly know. I thought that originally when I read it, I thought he broke apart the shackles and turned them to dust. But that's not what happened.
That's not what happened. It's really... And there's no narration other than him going like, oh, I hope this works. Oh, I can't believe that worked, or whatever. And like, I don't know.
If ever there was a need for a Stan Lee like editor's note being like, explain what is happening here.
In the span of 1.6 seconds, Sonic removes his shoe and instantly creates a land bridge.
That would work, and I would be like, oh, okay, that's what I'm looking at, because it's unclear.
I think I'm just so thrown by the idea that Sonic has dirty socks. I've never ever thought.
Well, he's running so much, Vince.
I mean, he wears shoes. He even has like rolled up socks. Like I've seen them in the video game. It's in the sprite. I've never once given consideration to him having socks, though.
Yeah, it's part of the model. Even it's not like this is made up.
That should be like a power up in the Sonic.
But you can see like the seams of he's got like a gold toe socks.
Yeah. Look, you don't want him just running barefoot. He's gonna tear his feet up.
Yeah.
Blisters to here and back. Yeah, I get it. But
it's a very strange scene. So this is where we get Robotnik then telling all the villagers, haha, you've been tricked, and actually this was a robot. Then we see, this scene is where things really got interesting for me, probably because it's about the duck. This duck is the only character I care about. He is delivering his falsified death certificate to Snively, and they've got his family trapped. He's got a duck wife and a few duck kids there, stuck behind bars in Snively's office.
In that office.
Yes. and they're making him falsify these things in exchange for his family's safety and freedom. But they're still not going to let them out because they're like, oh, we got to make you do one more thing here. Sorry.
Yeah, regular Dr. Yui Mallard or Yui Quack or...
The doctor's a quack.
What? Oh no, I'm trying to think of like a Dune reference, because that's literally, spoilers alert for a 45-year-old book. Dr. Yui is family is kidnapped and he is forced to help Baron Harkonnen, who's a lot like Robotnik in some ways.
This is just Dune. I was wrong. It's not Elden Ring. This is Dune. Is Elden Ring Dune? Anyways, they have so they also reveal, oh hey, we've got the real king. He's still all like stone rotted. He's not cured at all. And then meanwhile, Sonic is just kind of out in the woods. He calls for Dulcie the dragon, who shows up. She believes him, so she gives him a ride. He whispers where they're headed to instead of just whatever. Makes no difference. There's nobody else around. Hershey and Drago are now arguing at home again. Drago, Hershey's like, hey, haven't you heard the princess is dead? It's so sad. And Drago's like, yeah, you killed her, idiot. And she goes, what? And Drago makes her put on some headpiece, which is like a Sonic the Hedgehog mask. And I guess the plan that Hershey thought was happening is that she was going to cut down the rope that Snively was climbing up.
Dressed as Sonic for some reason.
And she was dressed as Sonic for some reason. But she looks in the mirror and she just sees Snively, because this Sonic mask has optic reflectors in the eyes that make anyone she sees look like Snively, which is some kind of crazy AR technology.
That's way more complicated. I thought they just hacked the Coyotes goggles to make whoever was cutting it look like Sonic. Because that
seems
way easier.
I thought Robotnik just had a robot that looked like Sonic.
Nope.
These are both way easier.
Nope.
So I want you to dress like Sonic, and then who you think you're killing, but we do have the technology for what you're seeing looks like somebody else. We have that technology.
Yep.
But we didn't put that in the Coyotes goggles.
It seems impossible. I don't know how that technology exists, but dang, I guess it is just AR stuff. But
they're in 35 whatever.
It's
It is a Snapchat filter, yeah. And she killed the princess, and she's like, "Oh shit, that's terrible." She feels terrible about it.
I do love that. Immediately after this page of the screwed up, drawn up Sonic in the costume, we then go to the fan art, which we haven't commented on. But the fan art.
The fan art. We haven't. All the issues include a fan art section. And
they're all drawn by 9-year-olds.
Yeah, they're literal children. I don't want to pick on them, but oh my God.
I'm going to pick on them. That funny. Tails in the first issue, holy shit. It was just like a circle with eyes.
Chris, there was a kid our age at the time from the Woodlands. And I'm like, I wonder if we went to school with that kid.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see who.
They also have a section for if you sent in fan art or a letter, they'll just put your name in a big list on this page. Which, seems a little lazy, but it's nice, I guess. Yeah. Except they really do have just terrible graphic designers. You can't read any of the text in this thing because it's just the way it's sitting on images without any sort of
Yeah, well, their recap pages are the same way.
To give them a little bit of a break, it was printed on paper.
That's fair.
When you're looking at a digital scan of it, it's a
little different.
Worse. Yeah. But yeah, it's rough. They also have they answer the letters pages as the characters. So Bunny answers one of them, and I forget who answers the other ones. But I was just like, oh, okay, this is
that's fine.
A little funny that you've got characters from your book in the middle. I mean, it makes sense, your monthly adventures. But when it's Sally's dead, everyone.
Yeah.
This is what does Bunny think about this letter from a 10-year-old?
One person wrote in asking I have a question about Sonic number 45. Sonic, in this issue, Sally gave you a kiss, and then she went and she hugged Jeff. What's up with that? And then Bunny replied to that, and was just I don't know, whatever. Very, very weird letters page.
Yeah, look, I can't speak for her. She just is polyamorous and also is waking up a lot of children to some weird feelings. Some new feelings. And Bunny feelings. Rabbit also. I mean, she's rogue, but all cyborg Bunny. This is
His legs stretching to next week.
Woo!
Oh, sugar. That's so nice.
We have to comment on that fan art that looks like just a jacked up Rob Liefeld version of God. Sonic. Jeez, it's good.
What if Sonic was WCW heavyweight champion?
Yeah, it's important. You gotta check this out. If you only see, that's my panel of the week right there. That's it. That's my panel.
Well, and the fan art says please send it as black and white art, which means that somebody from Archie colored all these.
Yeah, they probably needed to have consistent colors. Yeah.
We don't want to have to just draw, have your crappy drawing in of Tails as a circle.
Your terrible off-model, off-colored. We gotta at least color it right.
Yeah. So somebody had to color Sonic. I mean, I already described him, but he is what if Sonic was 6'5" and 300 pounds muscle?
That's what it should have been for the movie, I think.
That was the original model that the fans didn't like, and then they changed it.
Yeah. When they screen tested The Rock as Sonic.
Yeah, it worked better. Okay, so meanwhile we have the Rogue Bunny and we have Antoine. They are being held captive. They've been thrown into. Oh, okay. There's a prison that's in some crater where they meet the other prisoners, whose names we get. I still don't know the walrus's name at this point, but we've met Wallaby and Barbie Koala, who are
we're in Down Under.
In two panels.
I was going to say it with the accent. Don't say
Koala.
Barbie Koala. Say Bobby.
Bobby. And they also meet the warden of this place, who is Crocbot. who was a crocodile who was then stuck there and like Iron Man'd his way towards making himself into a crocodile tank.
He's like Korvac, but instead of like a stand-up desk, it's a tank that he's crafted himself.
He introduces himself to Sonic, to Rogue and Antoine by giving them his whole supervillain like backstory and his origin, just like as his introduction. It's wonderful.
He's not the major. He's not even a minor antagonist in this story. He's just in this issue.
He's like these three characters who we learned about and got their names don't exist anywhere else.
No.
Maybe they show up later.
I think they show up in Knuckles Quest, which is the 48-page special that they keep advertising in the back of these
Knuckles
issues.
Quest. So then
that was the other part. 45 had a backup story where Knuckles is trying to get a fancy sword, and he has been enchanted by these other two characters, like these magicians. And it's like a D&D thing where he's like, remember the prophecy, Knuckles, the paladin's going to set you free. So he was forced to do chores for them until someone broke into their house and he was able to free himself from their mental control. I was like, what is going on with Knuckles?
There's a concurrent Knuckles book and then always like an extra like limited series being published. There are like 3 Sonic books being constantly published throughout this.
Popular stuff.
In 1997, when there hasn't been a Sonic game in 3 years.
Well, this is all there is. That's why they're so thirsty for it. They're like, there's no game. I can't play Sonic Spinball again.
Sonic 3D Blast was a misfire. Sonic Extreme is not coming, y'all.
Yeah, I can't wait for $99.99 anymore. I have to have Sonic content. For people who don't know, $99.99 was when the Dreamcast came.
The Sonic Adventure with the whale. There was no Sonic games on the entire Sega Saturn.
No.
It went from the Genesis, and they missed the whole generation.
What idiots at Sega didn't put a Sega game on their console?
They didn't. Yeah, they're like knights will be our new Sonic.
We don't need Sonic.
They're flying jesters who live in your dreams.
Oh my goodness.
This will replace Sonic.
It's like that's making a whole fucking Nintendo system with no Mario game. It's just stupid.
All right, so Dulcie the Dragon and Sonic, they get to the floating island where they were headed, and instantly they meet Knuckles, who punches the dragon, and Sonic is very offended by this. That's the purest soul you just punched. How dare you? And then they fight for a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny that Sonic calls Knuckles stupid a lot. I'm like, is he stupider than any other character in this book? I really don't feel like he's
really not. I think Sonic is way dumber than Knuckles, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm like, everyone in this town is stupider than Knuckles.
There's a lot of dumb people here. But then guess who parachutes in? Jeff St. John. It's gonna be a 3-way fight here between them. So then beginning of number 50 now, we get a little flashback with Julian, Robotnik, who is being hunted down by the other Overlanders, they call them. And two Sonics find him and help him. Their names are Charles and Jules.
So that's Uncle Charles, right before he's turned into part of a robot. And is that Sonic's mom? I don't know who this other.
I don't know, but they look exactly like Sonic.
Yeah, this is a hard, weird break because this is not what I recall from the last issue. I'm like, what is going on here?
Who are these people? And we don't really follow up on this at all.
Yeah, it's unclear because we find out it's in Robotnik's dream, but did it really happen?
Right. It's like so Robotnik was being thrown out by his own people, and the Sonics like saved him and took him in, which. Why aren't you good then, Robotnik? What's going on? And the King Acorn decreed that he should be their warlord and he should be leading the charge against the other Overlanders, which now I'm really confused.
He was always a bad egg, man.
Yeah, bad egg. Back to the present. Sonic and St. John are each asking Knuckles to help them fight. Sonic is like, I'm being framed. You got to help me. And St. John says, I'm going to deputize you. Knuckles, you're going to help me bring Sonic in. And Knuckles... Knuckles goes to attack Sonic and like they do a little fight, but Sonic dodges one of Knuckles' moves, and instead of saying you telegraphed that move, he says you emailed that move. And it took me a while to be like, wait a minute, what? And I hate.
And he called him Redbone, which then I started thinking about.
Red,
and then I was like, wait a second, like the Childish Gambino song, and then I started getting
yes, like the Childish Gambino song.
Yes. So Sonic runs and he hides by some tree, but it's Espio the Chameleon, one of the Chaotix. Oh my god!
I need to look up Espio.
Oh no, one of the Chaotix.
Is he from Knuckles Chaotix for the 3-2X?
I don't know. I don't know who this person is. No,
if Espio Chameleon is not from a video game, then this is bullshit.
Oh man,
he is from a video game. Don't worry, he is one of the Chaotix.
Okay.
So they've got Sonic dead to rights. He's trapped. What are we gonna do? But don't worry, Dulce the Dragon crashes in. She like flops down on everybody and she sets everyone straight and is like, "Hey, as everybody knows, dragons can't tell lies, and that's also why we have the power to be lie detectors and tell when other people are telling the truth. And I know that Sonic is being framed." And so everyone is like, okay, I guess Knuckles says he'll help out of respect for Sally now. And I guess everything's okay on that front. Meanwhile,
St. John also agrees to help Sonic, which is kind of surprising.
Yes. Yeah. We have Tails and the Walrus. What was the Walrus's name?
I don't even know.
I don't
have it up anymore.
They don't worry about it. Tails and the Walrus are headed down to the underground canal system and water vehicles that Robotnik doesn't know about. Except Drago does know about them, and Drago catches them, and but it's okay because then Sonic and Knuckles and everyone else comes in, and we get our first big 2-page fight scene, and it's pretty cartoony, not really very detailed. Everyone's very big, but it's a nice little action scene. Then Hershey shows up and bonks Drago on the head and starts crying about how she killed Sally, and it's good stuff.
Rotor was the walrus's name.
Rotor. Okay. The French guy and the rogue girl are in Robotnik's base now. They've snuck out of. They got
were in
out.
Down Under. What happened? How did?
So this was very fast. There was a little scene where the Crocbot is phoning back to Robotnik, and he's like, "Hey, I'm just dealing with a minor uprising here, but don't worry, the shipment of mined stuff or whatever is on its way to you." And I guess this was a planned distraction from the Wallaby and Bobby, and that's how they escaped from there and ended up back home so quickly. So sure. Now they're in the base, and Sonic runs in, and he fights Robotnik, and there's a lot of lasers and explosions and stuff, and he modulates his run speed to create after images of himself. Okay, and there's
sure.
Yeah, there's lots of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of Flash rules where you're like, okay, you can do that. You're very fast.
Every fight scene in this book is really just like, you can see some speed from Sonic. You can see him running around. There's a different explosion. It's a lot of stuff just missing Sonic. Pretty much what you expect.
It is funny when he uses the spin dash, as Vince was talking about, where he was like, now he knows war. He
like looks like a dang tire.
Use down B. That'll show that.
Where he's holding him. And you're like, yeah, this is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. He didn't have that in Sonic 1.
No. Yeah, Sonic 1. No way.
No way. He didn't. Yeah, he didn't know war back then. So then Sonic is fighting Robotnik, and the whole place is going to explode or something. Robotnik's going to activate this what's it called, neuron something or other, and the thing goes off, and Sonic is right at the center of the blast, but like he's fine, doesn't seem to like whatever's going on. He like falls asleep. He wakes up, and he's in the Knothole Medical Facility. That's the name of their town, by the way, Knothole, and the town wasn't destroyed, but it did get stuck in a temporal rift that's 3 hours ahead. What? I forgot I wrote this down because this doesn't seem to. I don't know what this has to do with anything.
When the doctor started explaining things, everything he explained, I was like, what?
So yes, the doctor says, "Allow me to explain," but then he explains a bunch of other stuff that's not related to this temporal rift that I'm very curious about. But
everything, I was like, that's not what I would have guessed.
Right. And so he talks about how like he was working for Robotnik and blah, blah, blah. So he also had discovered that Snively was going to backstab Robotnik, and he reprogrammed the neutron eradicator to only affect Robotnik and nobody else. So the Duck Doctor was like, I'm just going to be quiet about this and let things play out. So the hero of this story is Snively. Sonic did nothing.
Right. He's like, Snively was able to track me down with my dream invention, and they were able to blackmail me. But then I noticed that Snively was betraying Robotnik, so I didn't say anything to anyone about anything that's been going on.
You should have said something.
Huh, okay.
You really should have said something.
That's a hell of a thing to drop on everyone.
Yep.
Quite the end game.
And then he said, oh, by the way, also Sally is alive, but she's in a coma. And Sonic's like, what? I got to go help her.
Yeah, he's like, she was very badly hurt, but I fabricated this medical record and said she was dead. She's not. She's just in a coma.
Outside.
So Sonic, Sonic's like, then what am I doing here? And she runs out to her. Finds her like in one of these coffins, not like
in
those
Snow
glass
White coffin.
Yeah. And he opens it and kisses her, and she's instantly alive and well. And okay, cool.
I do like to. Sonic says he loves her. She comes back from a coma, and is like, "What did you say, Sonic?" And he's like, I'm just glad we're all okay." Sonic, a man after my own heart.
And I think,
like, I'm not going to lock this down with Sally Acorn. This is.
Yeah, we get.
He hasn't even met Rouge the Bat.
No, or Amy Rose. I don't think. I don't know.
Wow.
She's a hedgehog too, so that's keeping it in the hedgehog species.
The bloodline. We get a little bit of like an epilogue. The Duck family is all okay, don't worry. And so they don't give us the epilogue about Snively. They say we're gonna have to wait and see what happens to him another time, probably because they hadn't figured out what they were gonna do with him.
Well, he's the new big bad going into Sonic 51, I guess. He's Robotnik's nephew, I think. I don't know if we said that.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if the book said that.
No, the book said that on the previous.
Very briefly mentioned it. Yeah. Oh, I think it was in one of the the recap pages. You're right. I don't think they actually said it. I think they just put it in the recap page.
They said it with the Duck. He said, "What Robotnik also didn't know was that his nephew Snively or Snively had other plans." That's the first I'm hearing of this. Okay.
Very good. Boy, there's a lot. There was a lot in all this. I mean, it was pretty bad, but I didn't hate it. Like it was fun bad at least. I was gonna say
I wouldn't call this bad. This was
really,
again, and maybe it helped that I read the first two issues, which I would call bad.
Yeah, I read 46, and 46 was like drawn by like one of its fan artists. It looked fucking terrible. Like everybody's off model. Even this issue, like everybody's like seems like they drew the mouths as an afterthought. But like I would agree with Kia. Like it's not bad. I think technically this is not a good comic. Like on any level, but it is enjoyable.
It's not a waste of time for sure. I can't say if we had to do another Sonic comic for the show, I'd be like, yeah, sure. But I probably wouldn't go out to read one on my own. But I could definitely imagine I don't know, being younger and in a Ninja Turtles mindset of just cartoon animals having fights. I don't know. If I had watched the cartoons, I could have been definitely more into it. I don't know.
It seems late though. This is 1997. Like again, when I went to check my
You're
buddy,
right.
He's like, I draw the Sonic comic. I'm like, there's a Sonic comic for who? Who wants a Sonic comic? I guess it was popular, and this book is so crazy, like far away from what I recognize as the video game, but also I guess it's serving a different audience than the video game audience in 1997.
But that's what I think is interesting about this book. And obviously we haven't read the rest of it. We're starting at issue 47 to 50. Yeah. But this is a funny animal, like more or less like a comedy adventure book that is having a big event. I think it's successful for that.
Right.
And it's assuming that it's you started reading this 4 years ago when you were 9 years old or 8 years old or whatever it was, and now you're a little older, we can get a little more serious because and again, Sally Acorn does not die in this book, but they tease it for like 3 issues that she is dead and Sonic is responsible for her death. You're like, are you kidding me? Like,
it even has a cover like it's like that Bruce Wayne murderer cover, but it's Sonic the Hedgehog murderer fugitive or something.
That's such a crazy twist of like, yeah, is Sonic a murderer? So I think it's fun. It goes in. We talked about a little bit of how the I think it's fun in a way because like we knew Sally wasn't dead. At least I think we all knew, and we knew Sonic wasn't gonna betray them. But the way that it specifically happened, I could not have predicted any of that. Like it was so crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of. It's not a predictable book. Definitely not a predictable
I'm glad
book.
we checked it out, though. This is clearly a comic that ran for a long time. I've heard about it, and I'm like, I'm glad to be a tourist to like run in and see what this was all about. And now I feel like I've got a better sense of what the Sonic the Hedgehog comic was about.
Yeah. Also, like, as we alluded to, just waking up furries just so that they know, like, oh, Sally Acorn is my girlfriend, and I'm in love with her too, just like St. John and Knuckles and Sonic.
Representation matters.
Well, I wonder where the furry community would be now if it weren't for like Sonic and Usagi Yojimbo. Like those are
and Robin Hood, Disney's Robin Hood.
Oh, true. That was a big one.
Yeah, that's sexy Maid Marian.
Robin Hood's a bit of all right.
I mean, he looks just like Maid Marian, but a boy.
Yeah, with short shorts. Yep, it was a good time.
All right, I think it's time. Oh, do we need to? I don't know if we heard your Urkel Sonic impression.
Oh, I dropped it in there. Yeah,
go back
through the episode. Yeah.
All right. Go back
through.
Actually,
delete the download, re-download it, and then look for it.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
So,
all right,
gotta juice those numbers. Gotta goose them.
Yeah, we're not in the habit of shouting on other podcasts, but What a Cartoon recently did the Sonic syndicated show, and so I definitely had Robotnik's voice from that cartoon with who is it? Ian Jones Cordy was the guest on that episode.
Because what is it? Because was it that same dude on his OKKO show?
I don't know if it was him or Jim Cummings, because Jim Cummings is Robotnik in the
Ian Jones Cordy show. Yeah, because Ian Jones Cordy created OKKO, and I know Jim Cummings was on.
But OKKO. It's not Jim Cummings in the syndicated show. Okay. He's more of a Tim Curry like English buffoon in the syndicated cartoon, and then that's definitely who I heard is more of the just like, I'll get you, Sonic, like that sort of like ridiculous arch voice.
All right. Anything else to say about
that's my
Sonic?
Robotnik voice. Just saying.
That was a good Robotnik. I liked it.
Thank you. I got to put a little more jowls in there. I gotta get fatter so I can do that.
Well, I think it's time to move on to Avengers for the Korvac Saga stuff. Thank you, Sonic, for your time. Maybe we'll
thank you for your service.
Your service to the kingdom. We won't give you
to the kingdom, to comics, and to the furry community. We appreciate everything you've done. But onto Avengers. So we're definitely. I feel like we are in a definitive prologue state when it comes to the Korvac Saga. We previously read a Thor issue where he met the Guardians of the Galaxy and Michael Korvac and some bad guys. And then we jumped to Avengers 168 and 169, which 169 definitely had a lot more to do with Korvac.
No, we skipped 169. We read 167. I'm
sorry, 160. You're right.
168.
Thank you. 168
has a big Korvac fight, yes. And we find out Korvac is now in the body of a yuppie blonde guy. He used to be a robot man, but now he's a 70s guy.
And then for this issue, I kind of expected there was a break in the Korvac Saga last time in 169 where I guess Hank and Janet were just doing some other stuff with Ultron's robot wife's body. And this issue really does seem to continue more off of that, but we pick up on little bits and pieces of stuff that I think is going to lead to the Korvac Saga. But also maybe I lied. Let's get into it. So Beast finds Captain America training. Captain America has apparently lost his powers, so he's trying to compensate by training more. But he's also just kind of a grumpy teen who doesn't want to talk to anybody.
If you remember Avengers Forever, there was a brief period in the 70s where Captain America had super strength. He doesn't have super strength anymore, so he's kind of whining about it.
Yeah. And then Iron Man comes in and tries to talk to him, and he was like, "Yeah, fine. I'm just gonna keep on working on this other stuff while you talk to me."
Because they've been fighting for the last few issues. Because Captain America doesn't feel like Iron Man's giving the Avengers his all. He's a good all. That's it. He's been calling like that's bull. Like Captain America's been real surly towards Iron Man. And
because he thinks that Iron Man is Tony Stark's bodyguard, which is insane. This is issue 170.
I can't believe they went on this long with that. Yeah.
How do you not know this? I do like the scene too. George Perez are great as always, but George Beast tries to save Cap because he like nosedives to his seeming death and then saves himself. Yeah. And then when Beast is like, "All right, you guys are gonna like work this out, okay," and he just picks up like a 1-ton barbell and just walks away with it, like, "Whatever, you guys work it out."
Yeah, I liked Beast in this scene. Very good, very good. But I guess Iron Man and Cap, they kind of smooth things over a little bit, and they're like, "Yeah, everything's cool." We also have Wonder Man and Vision are getting along a little bit. I guess they've each historically had the hots for Wanda. But,
Wonder Man hasn't yet.
Oh, sorry. They haven't had. Oh,
well, and he definitely didn't have the hots that we read with John Byrne.
Yeah, this is.
He got the unwanted beach.
Oh. Wait, that was Wonder Man?
We don't. Yeah, that was Wonder Man. We don't know what happened, but he's like, Wanda, no. This is. As you recall, Kia, as we all know, Wonder Man has recently come back to life. Vision has his brain put into his android body. So they're like brothers, but Wonder Man is like new to all this stuff and he doesn't really know what's going on.
I see.
Vision and Wanda are married, just like in the TV show that we all know.
None of this really comes into play in this issue, but it's a character thing. There's development from issue to issue. Hawkeye is calling Wanda now to tell her about how the Two-Gun Kid disappeared off the train that they were on together. I thought that was intentional and that like the Two-Gun Kid had some sort of teleporter powers. I was wrong. Two-Gun Kid disappeared and Hawkeye's worried. Quicksilver, meanwhile,
he's just an old cowboy guy. He has no powers.
Yeah. Quicksilver is up late and he's kind of like brooding on a balcony, and Crystal, the Inhuman, comes out and they hug, but then Pietro disappears. Oh no, lots of people are disappearing. Is this related to Korvac stuff? Is this other stuff? I legitimately don't know, and I'm kind of curious to see like how it all comes into play.
It's unclear. It is funny too. Like Marvel, Disney has siphoned them off so much. It's funny that Quicksilver, who we all know because he's in those cool scenes from the X-Men prequels, where he has the one cool scene where everything slows down. He's married to the character from the Inhumans that no one remembers because nobody watched that Disney Plus show.
That was ABC show.
ABC, I guess, at the time, yes. It's on Disney Plus if you want to watch it all.
You shouldn't. Nobody
should. Crystal and him got married. Obviously, he was introduced because Johnny Storm was like away from Crystal for like 3 months or whatever, and then when he came back, he's like, "Oh, I'm married now to this guy who sucks."
The Inhumans. The Inhumans, the only Inhumans, the only Marvel movie that was announced that didn't happen. Everyone else has happened. Inhumans got canceled though.
Yeah. Yeah, unlike Fox, which is announced like or not Fox,
DC.
Sony has announced like 15 movies, including Morbius.
That Silver Sable movie's going to come, you know it is. And that Aunt May in the World War II movie, that's going to happen
too. Why are they making a Morbius movie? I don't get it.
They've been working on it for years. Its first trailer came out in January 2020.
It was supposed to come out in February, but they're like, nah, forget it.
Its first trailer was 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, then recently, it was going to be Silver Sable and Black Cat were going to be the movie. And Sony was like, maybe not.
All right. Well, we jump to a scene that definitely has to do with the Korvac Saga. It is a young Vance Astrovic, who is Vance Astro in the future, and the Guardians are just kind of like generally protecting him and watching him to make sure Korvac doesn't like try to kill him in the past and ruin the future. And this fucking kid just loves to throw his baseball on the street late at night. And there's a big truck, like an 18-wheeler, zooming down this neighborhood for some reason. I don't understand.
The Paris wrestling equipment.
Full of wrestling equipment.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
I don't know what that means. Is there like a wrestling ring in there?
Like, yeah, what wrestling company is going down suburban streets in this giant truck? They're not doing major roads. It's weird.
Charlie 27 like stops this truck by pulling on it, and then he quietly slinks into the shadows and manages to save Vance. Vance.
That's your only Korvac Saga tie-in.
Yeah,
that we know of for sure.
I do like the scene where Charlie's coming back with groceries, including a baguette sticking out of his grocery bag, which shows he's a true New Yorker. And then he's like, "Yeah, I exchanged the paper money or paper whatever that Iron Man gave me. I don't know what it is." In exchange for these groceries, as is the stupid custom of these morons.
I imagine that he walked around and like picked up what he wanted though. Like he must have, I don't know, he must have picked up on something. Whatever.
It's just funny that he thinks the idea of like handing someone money is just like whatever, stupid.
Whatever. Paper. Who knows? So back at the mansion, we have Hank and Janet. Yeah, Yellow Jacket and Wasp, they have showed up. They also have some moving people with them who I like these characters a lot. They've got Ultron's robot wife. What was her name? Jocasta? That's what I wrote down. They didn't actually name her in this comic at all, did they?
No, they called her the Bride of Ultron. Very Frankenstein-y.
That's all they did. But yeah, these movers are like, "Hey, what do you want this robot broad?" And
my favorite
Janet just didn't want it at their place anymore.
My favorite part is when they're like giving the whole story of like why they have this and where this robot came from, and the guy's like, "Yo, we're just getting paid a flat rate here. Like, don't we're not getting paid hourly. You gotta go.
Just tell us where to put it."
Yeah, so I like the skinny sidekick being like, "Oh, I wanted to hear."
We go buy more comic books. I'll go give. That's what it said.
It's these are such good characters. The one guy, the skinny sidekick, is also like, "Oh, I'm getting the heebie-jeebies. I think I saw that thing move a little bit." And the other guy's like, "What are you? Don't be scared." And then it does actually wake up, and the guy's like, "I know I should have stick to moving pianos." It's a good line.
These characters are great.
But I think this is their only appearance, probably. Jocasta is now awake. It's talking with Janet's voice as well, which is kind of creepy. The Vision goes to disrupt it from within, but there are antimatter pods in there. Oh no, Ultron was prepared.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Vision is just like, "Oh no, this thing that I don't want to happen." It's so unclear like what actually happened to him.
And they go to help him, and he's like, "No, I calculate that you can't touch me for 90 more seconds while this thing dissipates from my body." I'm like, all right, that's fine.
I got too hung up on when is that 92 point whatever seconds. Does that start at the end of the sentence, at the beginning of the sentence when the number popped out? Because by then he's wasted like 3 seconds. So I was trying to calculate.
I imagine Vision would update things to the moment he says the number.
Yeah, you shouldn't touch him until he says it's okay. If you're Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
It was just very specific. So then I wanted to get more specific.
So Wonder Man also mentions he can't find Thor, and I'm like, oh, okay, did he disappear too? Janet has a hard time hitting this robot because it has her voice, which all right, it's weird, but you should get over it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never
what my
had to
voice
fight
sounds
someone
like.
that sounds like me before, but I feel like I could get over it.
Yeah, I think I'd be okay, especially if it didn't look anything like me and was very clearly not me. I think I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, because it's just like when you hear your voice in audio, like we all have, you're like, oh, I don't like that.
I've never heard my voice
I want to destroy it and get rid of it forever. If anything, that would make me want to kill it more. Right?
Exactly.
You sound way more nasally than I'm used to.
Yeah, you're like, I hate this thing that is saying the things I'm thinking, but with a horrible voice.
I'm gonna make a conscious effort to speak more deeply now because I'm probably gonna think about it more now that I listen back to it.
Kia, you're the one of the three of us that has to worry about that the least.
All right,
tell you. Vince, you also just keep on going. Don't worry about it.
Thanks, Chris.
So Iron Man jumps in and he's like, "Hey, don't hurt her," and everyone's like, "What?" And then we see Thor, who's like, "Hey, where's this robot coming from? Oh, I'm gonna attack it with my hammer. But Thor was also in the mansion earlier and didn't see all this happen, and somebody points this out and was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, Cap is like, "Wait a minute, why doesn't Thor know what's going on?"
But he blocks the hammer with his shield, and they say, "No, we're not going to kill the robot. We're going to let it walk away, and it's going to lead us to Ultron." So that's the cliffhanger there. So again, I don't know what any of this is going to have to do with the Korvac Saga. I wonder if all of it has to do with the Korvac Saga. Probably not, but maybe.
Yeah, we've sort of incorporated an Ultron subplot in the middle
all of a sudden, and we're going to get
son of a bitch, Chris.
Yeah, more Ultron.
This is you.
Which is fun. It's been a long time since we read any Ultron at all. I kind of, I like the character, so it's fun to get some Ultron mixed in here. But yeah, it's just kind of we're in a little bit of a wait and see what happens, and I'm a little bit more excited about it now, just because something could happen at any moment that has to do with the point of why we're reading all this. But it's also just it's also still enjoyable regardless. It's just a good Avengers story.
It feels more like we rolled in like the Amazing Spider-Man. We just rolled into a random year of Avengers in the 70s,
right?
And we're just hanging out with them. And I'm like, it's got good. It's got Perez art. It's good Perez art. I don't know where this is going, but I enjoy the Bride of Ultron. Like, that's cool to see. And it seemed like Cap and Iron Man worked through their shit. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Again, this is I've beat this drum before. This is what I like about this sort of team book is that it's got like multiple things burning at once. This kind of wrapped up the Cap Iron Man subplot, at least for now. But we're, sort of putting Korvac on hold, it seems like. We'll see if he shows up next issue. He didn't show up at all this issue, but we had the Guardians as kind of like, remember, this is going to be a subplot coming up.
Yep. So we'll wait and see. Next time we're going to continue on. We're going to read Avengers number 171. And what else are we reading next time? We're heading into April. We're trying something different for April this month. It's going to be exciting. We're going to purposefully read comics that are probably bad or generally recognized as being bad, and we're going to have fun with it because it's fun. Yeah. We're reading.
Yeah, I mean that's our whole MO is to read historical comics we should have read, and we didn't do Maximum Carnage in the Maximum Carnage era, but I feel like we've done this before. What did we do last April? We've read bad comics.
Have we?
Yeah, we did.
We've definitely read plenty of bad comics.
Yeah, we did the Marvel comedy series.
Oh yes, we've tried that. Yeah. I think in the past for April Fools, we've purposefully tried to read funny comics.
Yeah.
Or silly stuff.
And we did the KFC trilogy. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah. That was a good
book
time.
last year.
Yeah. I wish there were more KFC comics, to be honest. I'd read more of those.
What if KFC and Sonic teamed up? I feel like they would be opposed because Sonic's friends are all.
No, Sonic and Sonic need to team up, which I think they finally. I think they might be doing for this movie, and actually having Sonic the drive-in that actually sells chili dogs.
They had Jack in the Box for the last movie, which is really embarrassing for the Sonic Corporation. You should just fire everybody when Jack in the Box. It's not even McDonald's or Burger King. Jack in the Box scoops you. Come on.
Yeah. I will say Sonic's uncle did have kind of a Colonel Sanders mustache, which
he could be the new Colonel Sanders. Yeah, Sonic's robot uncle.
Amazing. So sorry, Key, I undercut you though.
Did we say what we're reading?
We've been talking about it for a year though.
Yeah, we're reading Fear Itself, which was a Marvel event comic from 2011. 7 issues, but also a whole bunch of other tie-ins, maybe too many tie-ins. I don't really know anything about this comic. I took a very brief look at the Wikipedia page and I realized I know even less about this comic than I thought I did. And
the good news is our Captain America reading is going to tie directly into it. So
that's good. That's good.
We have some characters from that Captain America series that are big bads in this.
Yeah, this is the comic event that broke me from reading comic events ever again.
Wow.
I have not read. I never read Civil War II, Secret Empire,
I mean, you know they're bad, so
I mean, like Secret Invasion, I was like, I don't like this, but Fear Itself is the one that broke me. I'm like, never reading another one of these again. Avengers versus X-Men, never again.
I don't know if I read it. I mean, I think it's just that I stopped reading monthly comics as much as I had.
This broke me. It's a good team. It's by Matt Fraction and Stuart Immonen.
Yeah, the art's good in this. I mean, I honestly hate Secret Invasion more than this, but they're both bad.
Well, there's like we said, there's a whole lot of stuff. We are only reading the main story, Fear Itself number 1 through 7. I guess maybe we'll put in an option for the Fear Itself prologue that was written by Ed Brubaker. I might read that.
Why is it written by Ed Brubaker? Who's the villain of this?
There's also 3 Fear Itself epilogues: Fear Itself 7.1, 7.2, and 7.3. We are not including the option for those. You are not allowed to read them.
Is that when they started doing the point issues? I guess
I'm not doing
it. I don't know. I don't know. I hate that thing that they started doing, where they started doing like, oh, this is issue 12.1 because we're resetting. Like, no, don't
do that. I mean, it's better than making an issue in an annual, which is fucking harder to find on Marvel Unlimited. Like, at least it's numerically in order. But
yeah. I would accept like a 12.1 or whatever 0.1 naming convention if it's a 10th of the size of a regular comic.
If it was a free comic book day, like exclusive.
That's okay with me.
And you wanted to put it in the same numbering order. But yeah, no, just call it the next issue. Don't be.
Hold on. If you call every comic the next issue, how do I know what order it is?
It's very easy. You look at the date that it's published and you say, what's next month?
Yeah, it's when you buy like the new Nintendo 3DS, and then you buy the new Nintendo 3DS, and then new Super Mario Brothers, and then new Super Mario Brothers Wii, and then new Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah, and you know what's going on. And you look at it and you're like, what order they are in? What order did they release in? That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
New Pokemon Snap.
Ooh, yeah, how new? It's not going to be new forever, but that's the name forever. All right, I think that's it for this issue, or this episode here. Let's do some plugs. Vince, what you got going on?
That was a game. I haven't posted my March video yet, but I think I'm circling around Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Brothers 3. Which is part of the Wii U fire sale, because the Wii U eShop is closing down.
That's right.
I heard about that. It's the dumbest name in the world because it's Mario Advance 4, but the port of Mario 3. But it has all the e-reader levels in it. It had 32 levels that you could only get through cards with barcodes on them, and you had to scan them in with the barcode reader, and then you could play them.
Sounds terrible.
Wow.
Well, it was even stupider because the e-reader, I don't know if you knew this, there was a barcode scanner you hooked in your Game Boy, but it didn't have a pass-through. So you actually had to hack up 2 Game Boys, one with the Mario game, one with the e-reader, and then scan these barcode cards, which half of them weren't released in America and none were released in Europe. And then you would get 32 new levels made by Nintendo that you could then play on your Mario 3 cartridge. And for some reason, Nintendo hacked all these into the Wii U download, the ROM, so you could play these without having to have these barcode cards. So for $8, it's 32 brand new levels made by Nintendo like in 03, I want to say. It's pretty cool. So that's the video. That was a game.
Cool.
On YouTube.
Chris, what's up with you?
Your Stupid Minds had a very special episode that just came out recently. We had a special guest, a published author, Catherine Coldiron, who has a book about Plan 9 from Outer Space. And she is talking with us about Staying Alive with John Travolta, the sequel to Saturday Night Fever.
Directed by
Sylvester Stallone. A very strange movie that is a lot of fun to talk about. Fun to watch with a group or if you're drinking. Not so much fun if you're just watching it by yourself in the cold light of day. But it's a lot of fun to talk about, and we go through some strange 80s stuff. We love Nick and I, who I guess we should say Nick is coming to this podcast soon.
Not for fear itself.
He's a dude in a shadow right now.
Yeah, he's in the shadows, orchestrating all of this, watching us on a monitor, tenting his fingers together.
I was wondering who that was in our Skype call.
Yeah, that's right. Muted the entire call.
Yeah, but his video is on, so we can clearly make out that it's a shadow. It's very creepy.
In the shadows, yeah. But yeah, so we talk about our love for 70s and 80s New York, just that era of movies that I just can't get enough of seeing films that are actually shot on location in that like time and place, even if they suck. It's fun to watch. So,
very good. I've got no plugs. I'm just playing Elden Ring. It's a great game. I love it. I can't get enough of it. But that's all that's going on. I think that's it for this time. Vince, thank you so much. I love you.
Love you too.
Chris, thank you so much. I love you.
Oh no, I'm turning to Crystal.
Oh no, this guy. This damn. He's a rock. Oh, that sucks.
It sucks.
It just sucks. I got nothing to say about it.
It does suck, man.
It really does suck to turning.
Let me tell you, I keep waiting for Sonic to free me. I've been stuck in this little container, and one day he's gonna jump on the container, and I'll jump out with all my little animal friends. Maybe then I'll fall in love.
Maybe we'll get a robot Chris. Until then, we'll.
What do you think you've been talking to this whole time?
This has been the
not robot Chris.
Not robot Chris. That's what I thought.
I mean, it does explain a lot, I guess.
Yeah. God, could you imagine if we had been doing this with robot Chris this whole time, and then real Chris came back, and
Chris was replaced with a robot sometime around Lock and Key 1.
It's gonna be crazy when you talk to real Chris. You're going to be like, that's his voice? Really?
His voice? Oh, man. How many... have we done a single episode with Real Chris? I don't know. All right, listeners, thank you so much for listening as well. We love you all. We'll see you next time. Bye.